Hey, what's going on? YT, it's your girl LB, and I wanted to come to you with my first nail art tutorial called Bling on Memorial Day. This is just going to be a little red, white, and blue thing that I came up with. Something quick, something fast, and easy. So the first color I'm using is this silver by Color Show, and it is called Pedal to the Metal, number 400, and it's really pretty. And I'm just going to start by giving myself a French on a few of the nails. Notice how I roll my finger a little bit when I put on the French. Now, it's easier to do a French when you have sort of like a glitter color or a sheer color. Rolling that finger is very, very important if you're going to do like a solid color, something that stands out, maybe like a red or a white. And keeping the brush steady will give you that straight, clean line there. Make sure to seal those edges too. So as you can see, I've given myself a French on all but the ring finger. That's going to be the only one that I give that I put a design on, and I'm going back in and doing a second coat. It came out kind of sheer. I don't know if the camera was picking it up, and I wanted more of a bling effect, so I just went ahead and hit them all with the same polish again. Like I said, make sure you seal those edges in there, because you don't want like part of your nail on the side to not have any color to it. Next, I'm going to go in with this blue by Sinful Colors, and it is called Endless Blue, number 1052. Then I have this Apple Barrel Red that I'm going to use, and it's just regular red. And then I have my Apple Barrel White that I'm going to use. And I'm actually just going to make some dots. I'm going to start out here with the blue and just do some dots kind of going in a diagonal pattern. I'm going to keep these pretty uniformed. I wonder if you guys can hear that thunder that's in back of me. It has started raining on this Memorial Day, and it's pretty loud, so I'm wondering. But anyway, just continue with those blue dots. You don't have to keep them as uniform as I did. I was going for a certain look. I was actually inspired by another YouTuber who did her dots very similar, so I just wanted to keep it like that. I thought it was going to come out very, very neat. So I finished all my blue dots there. Now I'm going to go in with a smaller dotting tool and put some red dots in between those blue dots. Now I am going to use some white, so you have to keep that in mind when you're designing. If you have, 2-3 colors that you want to fill up with, you got to make sure that you'll have space. So don't overdo it to the point where it's just going to wind up looking a mess. And some people don't have dotting tools. You can use a toothpick for this, or a dried up pen that doesn't have any more ink. Now, as you can see, I'm going back in with that white, and just anywhere that there's like a little gap now, I am going to put some white dots just to give it that Memorial Day feel. And I think I nicked my nail right there, and I was trying to get the paint back together. I did wind up nicking one of those dots, and I had to go, it was a red dot, matter of fact, and I had to go back in there with the red dotting tool and fix it, but it still came out pretty good. Now I'm going to go in with this Essie glitter, and I think it's called something in stone. I forgot what it's called. And I'm just gonna go over my French manicure that I did with that silver, just to give it more of a blinged out feel. It is bling on Memorial Day, so we got to keep it with that theme. And this is just going to give it that extra pop of bling. Always remembering to seal those edges. Now I'm going to go in with this CQ white and this Pure Ice red in the color Siren. And I am going to start a marbling process. Now, I'm not very good at marbling, but I have the basic concept down. The one thing you want to keep in mind when you're doing your marble is to make sure that you have just enough paint so that it's not too messy and that you can get the right effect. But if you put too much paint, it's just going to all run together. It's going to be all running all over your nails. And if you don't put enough paint, it's not going to marble. It's going to dry too fast, and you're not going to be able to get this effect. Now, I did have some issues, and you will see I had a little bit too much white right there, but that's all good. But you kind of want to go into a pattern. You see how I'm going kind of like back and forth, swiveling up and down. I don't even know if that's the right word. And then anywhere I miss, I'm just going to go back in there. And I use the dotting tool once again. But like I said, you can use a toothpick for this. And I'm kind of trying to make sure that it's covering the entire nail. So I'm pretty satisfied with that. So I'm going to go ahead and move on. Then you just take the top coat that you like and give yourself a top coat. Now, this is the finished product, people. Just a quick, simple, easy nail art design for Memorial Day. I want to thank you for tuning in, and until next time, YT, it's your girl LB. Peace.